Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to episode number 85 of the Houston Astros franchise here on MLB The Show 20. Today, the Houston Astros have two primetime MLB Network series. First, starting off at home against their in-state rivals, the Texas Rangers. If you're excited for this one, make sure you leave a like and subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content as we march closer and closer to the postseason. Joe Musgrove is on the mound for your Astros, 3.28 ERA in 30 starts on the season. He'll be starting off against the speedy center fielder Julian Severino, who in limited action this year has put up pretty solid numbers. He's taken over that leader spot for Santos, and he'll start off the day with a single into left field. Next batter, very first pitch. Santos getting a little bit of a lead off first base. They're going to try a little bit of a pitch out. Knew it was coming, but Severino steals anyway. That shows the speed of their starting lineup hitter. And then the next pitch will be a strikeout on Ben Zobrist. Next up, 0-1 count. Pitch gets in front of Stubbs, and Severino was taken off for third. So he actually steals third base. So Severino now only a base hit away from scoring in a run. Next batter, though, is jammed. It gets behind second base, recorded for an out. But thanks to Severino's swiftness on the base paths, he scores anyway. 2-2 up next to Joey Gallo. He's going to strike out with a pitch in the dirt. He's thrown out at first, but Texas pushes home one in the top of the first. They will send out the right-hander Jordan Lyles to the mound with a 4.77 ERA. Hasn't been the best seasons for him. 6-12 through 27 starts, 1.4 WHIP. That's pretty high. He'll start off against Jose Altuve, who is ninth currently in the AL with his 3.07 average. He's been playing a lot like his former MVP self. But unfortunately, he's going to strike out on the high fastball that's way outside his strike zone specifically. Next up, George Springer. First pitch to Springer. He's going to take a fastball. It's lasered right at Joey Gallo for out number 2. And that's going to bring up one of the AL MVP frontrunners this season, Alex Bregman, who on a 2-2 does go around. They're going to call that strike 3, and Lyles gets a 1-2-3 top of the first. How about the bottom of the third now? Avisail Garcia steps to the plate, 266 on the season with 9 homers, 46 RBIs. And he's going to strike out looking on a fastball that I guess caught the edge. But out number 1 in the bottom of the third. Lesmes Diaz up next, 1-0. He's going to lift this one deep to center field, but it is caught. There is the speedy Severino now in the outfield. Next up, Stubbs, 0-1 to him. 2 outs. He's going to bloop this one into center field. Severino cannot catch up to that one. So now Houston has a base runner here in the bottom of the third with 2 outs. Next up, Altuve, full count to Altuve. Hits this one deep to right center. Is it going to get in the gap? No, it is not going to get in the gap. And Lyles is through 3 scoreless innings. Top 4 now, Sam Travis steps up to the dish for the Rangers. He's 1 for 1 on the day, but he's going to be 1 for 2 now. So here's a ground out, 3 unassisted to Josh Bell. 1-2 to the next batter, and this is a bloop, and it's right at Bregman, a little soft liner for out number 2. And then 66 pitches on the mound, a hard liner at Bell. And both pitchers starting to settle in. However, that's going to do it for Musgrove. He only goes 4 short innings. He's getting kind of up there in pitches, getting a little tired. So we're going to bring in Jose Urania in relief in the top of the 5th. And his first batter, he gets to pop up into foul territory. Bregman's at the wall. And he reaches over and makes the catch. Nice defensive play by Bregman at third. He can flash the glove now. He can be a gold glove third baseman as well. Beautiful curveball to strike out the batter by Urania. Nice 2 down here on the top of the 5th. And the next batter, full count, gets in the jam, but it goes down the line, beats the shift while he's at it. And that's going to be a double to the wall for Calhoun. The inning's not over, especially with the powerful Joey Gallo up next. 1-1 to Gallo, and he hits it up the middle. Base hit. Calhoun, he's going to round third, come home. It's not going to be in time. However, Gallo takes off for second. He's thrown out by a mile. But Texas pushes home another run. It's now 2-0 Rangers. Let's go bottom 5 now, starting off with Canna on a full count lineouts to Severino in center. That is quick out number 1. Next up, Avisail Garcia, 2-2 to Garcia, and he turns on a changeup. This one is blasted down the line. No doubt about this one. Over the train tracks and gone. Avisail Garcia finally gets Houston on the board with a Houston launch. His 10th of the season. And that cuts the lead in half for Texas. It's now 2-1 here in the bottom of the 5th. Can the Astros start to get something going behind the long ball? Next up, Diaz, 1-1 to Diaz. Turns on a fastball. It's grounded, though, at the shortstop, who fields it cleanly, throws him out at first for out number 2. Stubbs up next, 3-1 to Stubbs. He gets a fastball, hits it the other way to left, however, not deep enough. And Astros get one here in the bottom of the 5th. We're going to stay with the Iranian now, top 6. Odor up first, and he's going to beat the shift as well. A lot of shift beaters here in this Rangers lineup today, as that's a double to lead off the top of the 6th. Next batter up, very first pitch swinging. It's at Bregman, who gets him out fast, and Odor can't advance. Now, next Josh Fegley, and he looks at strike number 3 on the inside. Didn't like the call, but he gets it anyway. But 2 outs, liner into left field, played in front of Alvarez. That's going to get down, and that's going to allow the Rangers to get another run. 3-1 Texas at the top of the 6th. They get that run right back. Can they do more damage? Unfortunately, they cannot pop up in the infield, and Bell will have this one. And it's 3-1 Rangers here after 5.5 innings. 7th inning stretch now. We're going with the Houston Astros as Bell walks here in the bottom of the 7th. New pitcher on the mound for Texas. Next, Mark Canha, 1-0 pitch, gets underneath the fastball into right field. Gallo's going to have this one for an easy out, number 1 in the inning. And unfortunately on this play, Joey Gallo somehow had stiffness in his back. So I guess when he threw the baseball, he got a little sore, so he's actually going to come out of the game. That could be big for this Texas Rangers lineup. I'm going to put Julio Pablo Martinez in right field, another speedy outfielder to add to their base running ability. And the next batter will put it into right field for a base hit. That is Avisail Garcia with his 2nd hit of the day. And then Diaz up next, 2-1, puts this one into shallow right center. It's going to get down in front of Severino. Runner's actually going to come around to home, and he's going to score. No throw at the plate. It's 3-2 Rangers now thanks to the RBI single from Diaz. And that's going to bring Tim Collins into the mound for the Rangers. 2.93 ERA through 31 starts in relief. He's had a very solid season, the lefty, putting in some work. And he's going to start it off with Stubbs striking outs. Inside fastball for out number 2. Back up at the top of the lineup, Altuve gets a nice fastball to hit. Hits a deep right center. Martinez is back, but he catches it just shy of the track. Astros still down 1 now going into the 9th. Jose Leclerc is going to step in for the Rangers, looking for save number 21 on the season. Actually hasn't been his normal Jose Leclerc self, as he was an all-star a season ago. Hasn't really put up the best numbers this year, however. Starts off with Garcia, who's made some damage today. He's going to draw a leadoff walk, so that puts the tying run now on first. Diaz up next, swings through 99 fastball. Nice pitch by Leclerc. That's out number 1. Garrett Stubbs up next. He's first pitch swinging. He's blooping it into center, but not deep or not shallow enough, as Severino has out number 2. Now it's up to the rest of this Astros lineup. Thankfully, we're at the top, and Altuve also draws a walk. So now tying run is only 180 feet. Now only 90 feet. Back-to-back walk. Springer takes first base as well. Now you got bases loaded for the best hitter for Houston, Alex Bregman. 0 for 4 on the day. First pitch swinging out of fastball right down the middle. However, just gets underneath it. Caught in center field, and that is your ball game. Texas wins game 1 3-2 against the Houston Astros. Overall, pretty solid performance by Texas. Houston just couldn't put together a consistent offense, as they only had 5 hits in this game. Lyles gets the win, Musgrove gets the loss, and Leclerc gets save number 21 on the season. And Lyles is also your player of the game. 7 strikeouts in 5 innings for him. Now, how did the rest of the series go? Well, before we get there, our AAA squad wins their division, and they'll be in the playoffs. I haven't really been focusing on them this season, but good for them. They finished 82-58 on the year. However, our AA Hooks didn't make the postseason, so I'll have to keep an eye on the AAA Express. Now in Game 2, we lose 5-1 and actually went to 10 innings for a 4-burger in the 10th for Texas. They finally just got the ball rolling. Once again, struggled in the hit department, only 4 hits on the day for Houston, and it was mostly pitching from Munoz who did us in. Game 3, however, we do win 4-2, so we do take one, got off to a hot start, and then kind of held on to the lead. 4 runs on 9 hits for us. They had 2 for 8. It looks like Bregman did some damage. He had a home run. Bell also had a solo shot of his own. We got to Kluber early, and it looks like Urania got the win. Now, second half of the video will be the more important of the 2 series, as the Houston Astros traveled to face the 90-56 Chicago White Sox on the south side in guaranteed rate field, and this one looks like a potential playoff preview. The Astros are currently the 2 seed in the American League, and the White Sox host the 3 seed, but that could be subject to change. Both of these 2 teams will probably face off in the ALDS, but we're not sure who will have home field advantage just yet, so this series could go a long way in deciding that. Archer's on the mound for Chicago, Verlander for Houston. Now let's take a look at this White Sox lineup. They are very, very powerful. Tim Anderson on the leadoff spot, followed by the new addition Starling Marte, and the other new addition, DJ LeMahieu, came over in free agency in the offseason from New York, followed by Eloy Jimenez, Yohan Moncada, Nomar Mazara, Jose Abreu, Yasmani Grandal, and Luis Albert. First batter is Altuve. He's going to bloop this one into shallow right field for a single. Both these squads are the top 2 hitting teams in the American League, by the way. And Springer, right on cue, kind of shows why. Springer, 2-run blast out to left field. It clears the wall into the bullpen. His 22nd on the season. And the Astros jump out to a 2-0 lead. But like I was saying, these 2 teams are the top 2 hitting teams in the American League. So expect plenty of fireworks in this series and beyond. Next up, Alex Bregman. He's going to strike out looking. Don't really agree with the call, but that's out number 1 in the top of the first. Alvarez up next, 2-2 to him. He's going to turn on a slider. It's hit into center field, and it eats up the center fielder. That'll be a base hit for Alvarez. So 1 aboard now, 1 out for Josh Bell. He's going to take 0-2 count, and it's going to get through. No, it's actually not going to get through, but everybody is safe. Nice attempt by DJ LeMahieu, but that is a base hit for Bell. Canna up next, up the middle, gets through the infield. Alvarez turns third. No, he's actually going to stay at third base. And we got bases loaded now, 1 out. Garcia at the dish, strike 3 looking. Don't know why he didn't swing at that fastball. That's a big strikeout for Archer. And then Diaz up next, 0-1. Slider takes it into left, but the Astros lead the bases loaded. But they do push across 2 in the top of the first. We'll stay with Stubbs here in the top of the second. He's going to fly out to left field for the first out of the inning. Back up to the top of the order. Altuve up next. First pitch swinging. Hits it into the left center gap. That one's going to get all the way to the wall. Altuve already on his way to second. He will stay there. 1 out double for Altuve in the second. And then Springer, who we just saw homer, strikes out looking on the fastball. That is out number 2. Alex Bregman up next. 1-0 to Bregman. Hits it up the middle. That's a base hit. Another RBI on the books for Bregman. It's 3-0 Astros. And speaking of Bregman's RBIs, he is the American League leader in RBIs, and it's not even close. You can see he has 9 RBIs on the next one, Rafael Devers in Boston. Alvarez, though, is going to continue to single. That's his second single of the day, so the inning is not over yet for Houston, as White Sox a little bit concerned with their pitcher on the mound. As Bell, he gives up another base hit into center. Bregman is slow rounding third. He's going to come home and actually be thrown out at the plate. Poor base running from Bregman as he was very slow on that turn. And he's allowed to be gunned down at home, so it's only 3-0 Houston. While meanwhile, Verlander is dealing. Strikes out the first batter of the second. Next up, 2-2, hit into right field deep. However, not deep enough, as that is the second out recorded by Avisail Garcia. Now Nomar Mazara up next. 1-0 to Mazara, and he's going to hit it in front of Garcia. That's going to get down for a base hit. Little 2 RBI single for Chicago. 3-2 to the next batter, and this one's also getting through the left side of the infield. Jose Abreu now with a single, so that's back-to-back singles for Chicago. I'll bring up Yasmani Grandal, who on a 1-1 pitch hits a bullet to the right field corner, and it's over the wall into the bullpen sports grill. And just like that, we are back to square one. Yasmani Grandal, 3-run shot off Verlander, his 11th of the season. Did I tell you there might be fireworks in this game? Well, I think there might be fireworks in this game and in this series. 3-3 now in the bottom of the second. Verlander, next batter, up 2-2, gets him looking on the high slider as Luis Robert strikes out. So we're going to stay with Chicago now. Tim Anderson back to the top of their order, and he singles up the middle to center for a little bit of a lead off base runner. Next batter up 1-2. Marte swinging and missing at a pitch in the dirt. Nice pitch by Verlander to get him swinging. That's going to bring up DJ LeMahieu. 1-0 to LeMahieu. Henderson actually takes off and steals second, so the double play is not in order. 2-2 now to LeMahieu, who fouls off a pitch and actually went kind of fast, but Verlander apparently got hurt on the play. I'll have to check in on him after this game, but Chris Devinsky has to come in relief, ice cold off of the bench, and he's got to finish this at bat against DJ LeMahieu. That's a tough draw to join the game, but he does get him to line out to left for out number 2. Devinsky's probably been our best pitcher in relief. He actually probably hasn't been. He has been, as he gets the next one swinging. Eloy Jimenez down on the slider. Devinsky dealing out of the pen. Let's stay with them now. Bottom 4. First batter up, Moncada grounds into the shift. Altuve fields it nicely, gets him out at first base. That's 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Next batter up, Nomar Mazara. First pitch, lines into right. That one does get down. So 1 out single here for Chicago. First pitch up to the next batter, and he's going to hit this one deep to right field. However, Garcia does have enough space. So that'll be out number 2. No advance by the runner. He will stay on first. That'll bring up Grandal up next. We just saw him do some damage, and he's looking to do some more. That's hit deep to right center. It stays in the ballpark, off of the wall. However, a runner will come around and stay on third. Nice relay throws by Houston. But now only 90 feet from getting the lead. Next batter, 2-2. It's over the glove of Bell in first base. Run does come around. It is now 4-3 Chicago. However, trying to take off for second, trying to be greedy. Gun down, but not before pushing home the go-ahead run. It's now 4-3 Chicago. We'll go top 6. Mark Canha up first. Hits it deep to right center. Perfect timing on the fastball, and the ballpark can't contain it. That ball is gone. And just like that, Mark Canha, who has been clutch all season with the bat, ties it up at 4 apiece. His 27th home run of the season. So the Astros, they get that run right back, looking to go tit for tat with the White Sox. So now, back to square one. Garcia up next. He can't connect on the 95 heater. Swings right through it. Archer still on the mound here at the top of the 6th. Diaz up next, 1-2 to him. He turns on a high fastball. However, it might have been a little too high, as that one's fielded easily by Marte for out number 2. And that's going to bring up Garrett Stubbs. 1-0 to him. Pitch number 97 for Archer. And that one's going to go into right field, but not deep enough. So Houston ties it up in the top of the 6th. How about bottom 6 now? First batter, 2-2, hit deep to left. This one cannot be contained. It is absolutely blasted out of here. That is a solo shot. Eloy Jimenez, 28th of the season. In Chicago, they get their run right back as the fireworks go and the wheels spin out there in center. And offense is showing why they are the top 2. As 5-4 now Chicago. And that'll do it for Chris Devinsky. Austin Pruitt will come into the game. 384 on the season through 41 games. His very first batter is 0-1, and this one is hit sharply to right. However, Garcia is able to make the play, so that'll be out number 1. Next batter, Nomar Mazara. First pitch to him, and he absolutely crushes this one to right field. Garcia never even moved a muscle as that one was out in a hurry into the bullpen. Nomar Mazara, the former Texas Ranger, his 22nd home run of the season, and the White Sox extend their lead now 6-4 thanks to Mazara's solo bomb as the crowd is happy in the south side. So now Pruitt still got to get through this 6th inning. Abreu up next, the full count to him, and this one is popped up into center. So that'll be the 2nd out of the inning for Springer. Now Grandal up next. He's done plenty of damage here today. He's going to walk. Pruitt doesn't want to give him anything too big to hit. So that'll put him on first base. Next batter, Robert grounds it to left field, and it gets through into the outfield. That's now back-to-back base runners for Chicago, so maybe they're not done. Tim Anderson up next, hits it to center, but Springer has enough space. That is out number 3 in the bottom of the 6th. But Houston needs those runs back, and they're going to have to get through Alex Colome first, who is 202 on the season through his 31 appearances. as he will start off the top of the 7th against the top of our lineup, Altuve, who full count fastball hits it deep to center field. Looks like he was going back for a while, but he has enough space. That is out number 1. Springer up next. Already saw him go yard once, but he's not going to go yard. He's going to take it into the gap, though. Springer going to be an easy double, 1 out for him. And he has really turned it on here in the second half of the season. Springer his 35th double of the season. How about Bregman up next? Speaking of somebody who's turned it on, that ball is turned on and hit to left. That ball is no doubt about it. Bregman ties it up again with 1 swing of the bat. His 44th home run of the season. And let's extend that RBI lead to 11. You got to give him MVP chance. I know he's not at home, but Bregman is really making a strong case for MVP this season. So now all tied up at 6 apiece. Alvarez is going to swing and miss on the inside pitch, looking silly. And then Bell up next, 3-1. It's popped up into left for out number 3. But we are tied up here in the top of the 7th. We're going to go top 8 now, see if a team can break it. First batter up for Chicago, puts it into left field. Pruitt still on the mound for Houston, but now he's in a little bit of trouble as the go-ahead run is 180 feet away. And we're going to go next, Nomar Mazara. We just saw hit that liner into the bullpen. He's not going to hit a liner, he's going to hit a pop-up. This is going to be out number 1 for Stubbs. Easy play behind the plate. And next up, Jose Abreu, 0-2 is going to get into the outfield for a base hit. Runner is going to come around and score, and throw is not on line. And Chicago gets their lead right back. It's 7-6 White Sox. And now they need some more help from their offense. Houston does, but not before Andres Munoz comes in. His 15 ERA, just saw him give up 4 against Texas in that series. But he comes in and gets the doctor ordered. That's a nice double play. But now, Astros are down by 1, and they're going to have to get to Aaron Bummer, maybe bum some runs off of him, pun most definitely intended. But he's looking for save number 27. Altuve will be up first for Houston. He's going to try to do a quick bunt, but it's good reflexes there by Grandal. Out number 1, easily caught. So now it's Springer's turn, 1-2. He checks his swing, but they're going to say he went around, or they're going to call it strike 3. Don't agree with that, but it's out number 2. Now it's up to Bregman. He's going to walk. They don't want anything to do with Bregman, and I don't blame him. And that's going to bring up Alvarez. 1-2 to Alvarez. Swings through the sinker. Can't connect. Strike 3 is called out. And the White Sox win Game 1 of this series in Chicago, 7-6. Plenty of fireworks in this one. Speaking of fireworks, they send them off here at Guaranteed Rate Field. But if this game was any indication of what we could potentially see in the postseason, we are in for an exciting series. Cordero gets the win, Pruitt gets the loss, and Bummer gets his 27th of the season. They're going to name Grandal player of the game thanks to his 2-for-3 home run and double. He also did draw that walk. But Houston, maybe dropping some games down the stretch. But we did remember Verlander did leave, and he's going to miss a week to 2. He should be back for the postseason, but he will not finish up the regular season. And instead, we're going to call up Cy Snead. This might seem a little surprising, but Whitley really didn't do good in his audition in the majors, and Francis Martes really didn't do good in his audition in the majors either. So I want to give another guy a chance, especially late in September. We're probably going to clinch the division. So we're going to give Cy Snead a chance for the next week to 2 to fill Verlander's spot, see what he's got going on. He'll be the 5th man now in the rotation. We do drop Game 2 to Chicago. As you can see by the records, we now have a half-game lead over Chicago for the 2 seed. So this Game 3 will be deciding. It'll be very telling, and it's a big Game 3. So hopefully we don't get swept. And in Game 3, we do not get swept. We went 8-5. Putting up 2 in the 9th, 4 in the 1st. So now we got a game and a half lead over the Chicago White Sox. You saw all the home runs that we had. Chicago had 2 of their own thanks to Robert and Moncada. But next episode, we will go back and continue our road trip. We have a 2-game series against Texas and a 4-game series against the Angels. And the Angels are the 2 seed in the division. They are currently 7.5 games out. So we could clinch the division, or the Angels have a chance to put themselves back in contention. That'll be next episode. That'll be a big episode. But thank you guys so much for watching this one. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content as we start pushing for the postseason. Hopefully wrap up this series in the coming weeks. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.